So right now these are Vidal grapes, and we leave a few little vines here so that the tourists can see them as they come over to the winery. And you can see in some places where they've just completely dried up here. There's almost no juice left in them. You could squeeze them right now and there's just nothing coming out of them. And then if you look further down here, you can see where the birds have been able to get to these grapes here. And so we're losing grapes to the birds, we're losing grapes to dehydration. Let's call it difficult. It's still good wine. It's actually good quality. It's just that margins are a lot tighter.
And while now the ice wine grapes at Pillitteri Estates and the other wineries in the Niagara region have been harvested, the yo-yo weather patterns and mild temperatures have affected volume.
This will be a lower production per year by about 40% because we have had the grapes on the vine during warmer weather. Mild weather has grapes getting soft, and then they start to dehydrate faster.
And that's because ice wine grapes can be pretty finicky. They need the perfect conditions to yield their Canadian liquid gold.
Ice wine grapes need to be -8 degrees Celsius or colder. The grapes have to turn brown. Once that occurs, we like to get them harvested right away. Normally we pick about the week before Christmas. A little bit we pick in between Christmas and New Year's, and the bulk of it comes off in the first week of January.
People probably thought very, very cold, kind of middle of November this year, that would have been good for you. Why is that not necessarily the perfect time to pick?
It wasn't the greatest for us because it was too early. The grapes were still green in color, so there was a brown and greenish in color in the grapes. So when you press them, instead of getting those ice wine flavors, you got a portion of grape juice flavors. Farmers live and die by the weather, and we learn to have reserves. We learn to save for tomorrow. So we always have an inventory, a couple of years of ice wine juice or wine, and that way if there is a very, very bad year and we harvested very little, we would at least have wine for the next year. With global warming, there's a lot of areas that cannot produce ice wine anymore, and so Canada has grown to become, especially in the Niagara region, to become the leading production area in the world.
So while volumes this year were affected because of those higher inventory levels, prices will not be. In Niagara-on-the-Lake, Audra Brown, City News.